It is Tuesday, July 30th. Welcome to the Damon Bruce Show, brought to you by Ike Sandwiches. You could be anywhere. Thank you so much for being here. It is the Major League Baseball trade deadline. The Giants have made a move. I don't think it helps them. Maybe it will. Baseball's weird and funny, but somehow, some way, both buyers and sellers, no matter what camp you were in as a Giants fan, they're both mad at what the Giants have done. And that's where we're going to start today's show, because everything this franchise does feels like it's stuck in the mud. Honestly, the thumbnail promoting that I'm going to be talking about the Giants today probably gets this show stuck in the mud today, but it is the big story as far as I'm concerned. And Jorge Soler has been traded to the Atlanta Braves. Farhan Zaidi also sent pitcher Luke Wilson back to a team that, you know, he'll be competing against. The Giants are going to be competing against the Atlanta Braves in this wild card conversation. And it feels like Farhan has done more to get Atlanta a secured wild card spot than his own team's wild card spot, to be totally honest with you. Farhan has improved what is already the best bullpen in the National League. If you measure these things by ERA, I know it's a little old-fashioned, but that's the way I still measure things in baseball. He also sends back a man who helped win a World Series to the point where he was named World Series MVP. So Atlanta's got all sorts of reasons to be very excited for a player who never really fit in or worked out with the San Francisco Giants right up until they moved him to leadoff, and he'd actually been playing pretty well. And Farhan used this moment to trade him, but has, through Susan Slesser, told us that nothing else is going to happen. Nothing else is going to happen. The Giants are going to stick and stay with what they got. Again, my buddy Alan Stiles nailed it in a video that I saw last night. Somehow, the Giants have managed to upset their buy at the deadline fan base and the sell at the deadline fan base all at the same time. Not a lot happening, right? Look, again, there could be an argument at the end of this year. We'll have to see where it all goes, that Farhan did more to get the Braves into the wild card than he did the Giants. We'll see. Some are trying to laud Farhan for trading Soler to get out of the logjam that he created. And, Marco Luciano has been toiling in the minor leagues because he really doesn't have a position, and Soler was the DH, so there's nowhere to really put him. Look, even if Farhan did clear the decks for Luciano to be promoted the rest of the season, number one, could you put any more pressure on a young man trying to figure it out? He is now the big move at the deadline. A guy who started the year, had to go down, up, down. I mean, he just gets yo-yoed. Every minor leaguer pretty much gets yo-yoed by Farhan. It's sort of in the mix. The incredible amount of pressure that is now on Luciano as the deadline move. Like, good luck with that. Also, you don't get any credit for plunging the toilet when you're the one who clogged it. Okay? Farhan is the one who clogged the toilet. So he does not get much credit for unclogging it. This is year 7 of the Farhan administration. The Giants opened the season with the 10th highest payroll in League Baseball, the 6th highest payroll in the National League, and they haven't been more than 2 games over 500 at any point this season. Farhan's 2 hires as managers have been duds. You had the total odd duck Gabe Kapler situation. And look, Bob Melvin, time will tell, but he has not brought much to the party yet. Bob Melvin doesn't seem like like he's way ahead of everybody analytically. He's way ahead of anybody from a motivational standpoint. I mean, I don't know what manager is going to extract more winning out of this particular team. The Giants aren't bad. They're not really good either, and that's what makes them so frustrating. So Farhan has had trouble hiring managers. until Bob Melvin proves to us that that was the right hire. I don't know if he's got it right yet. The Giants farm system isn't robust or bursting with talent at all. This is year 7. And for Farhan, that is a massive fail. That is a massive fail. You know, you had the last, well, not Bobby Evans, but Sabian, you know, he hit on Bumgarner. He hit on Kane. He hit on Lincecum. This guy, he hit on Posey, right? I mean, the Giants got real major league players from draft picks, high-profile draft picks. Farhan does not really have that yet. You know, so what is he good at? What is he good at? If we're really being honest, like what can we say without reservation? He's nailed it. I don't know what it is. Can you tell me what it is? Go ahead and put in the comments. You tell me what it is, please. I would love to know. He treats players like they're baseball cards, not people. We just saw that with the yo-yoing of Hayden Birdsong. He's bad at communicating with players, agents, and media. You have upset players, Brandon Belt, about Farhan's lack of communication. You have the media getting promises that are never kept. And agents continue to say they can't even get the guy on the phone. Like he's hard to find. So, you know, if you're a general manager, you either need to be good with the players, the team, the agents, or the media. And I don't know if he's really good at any of that. Absent, hard to reach, overpromising, failing to deliver. I think that's a better way to describe what he's done so far. He's incapable of signing a free agent who has a second bidder. You know, wait a minute. He just signed the reigning Cy Young League winner. Yeah, because nobody else wanted him at the price point he was demanding. So because he was on the leftover table, Farhan was able to land Blake Snell, but not anybody bids against a free agent the Giants are trying to sign. The other team gets him, while Farhan has been pretty much running this team. He's bad at spending money. They have a ridiculous payroll for their production. He's bad at saving money because they're not really saving money. He is bad at signing free agents. His farm system, again, thoroughly unimpressive in year 7. I had to look this one up. The Giants failed to boast a single prospect in baseball's top 50 prospects. Carson Whisenhunt is the 56th top prospect in all of baseball and is the Giants' #1 prospect. So what would you say it is, Farhan, you do here? He's pretty good on the margins. I don't mind him, you know, dumpster diving on the waiver wire. He's found some people. He's got some talent. Again, I think what makes it frustrating is because you're on the edge of being decent. And you just can't get off the edge. You can't get off the edge. 1 year in the last 7 was a good year for the Giants, if we're including this year too. So we'll see what happens. Like, look, I would much rather Giants fans in the city of San Francisco be happy than me be right. I hope I'm wrong about all of this. But here's what you got. Here's what you got. Look, baseball's weird. Like, if you're telling me that Snell, Webb, Hicks, Harrison, Birdsong all come out and are just monsters through every single one of their remaining starts in the rest of the year, and you don't need more than 4 runs on any particular night because your pitching is going into the 7th inning, and that saves your bullpen from ever being taxed. If you're not putting a tax on the Giants bullpen, it's pretty good. So, you know, maybe all that happens. Maybe. You might be a wild card team if all of that happens, but you haven't even been 2 games over 500 yet. Or more than 2 games over 500. So it's kind of where we are. How about the help? Well, not a lot, really. Not a lot, really, coming back for Soler and Luke Jackson. The Giants receive left-handed reliever Tyler Matzik and a minor league third baseman, Sabin Ceballos. Matzik has an ERA close to 10 and in 11 games this year has a minus .05 WAR. So his WAR is minus a half. Great. And again, Sabin Ceballos, no idea. He hasn't had a major league at bat. No idea what he is. He might be a guy who never makes it. He could be the greatest third baseman of all time. We will have to wait and see. But there you go. That's the Giants at the trade deadline. Their big move was a salary dump, not much return, and an announcement that they're all done doing business. The team is on the field. Okay. It's really smart to get it out there publicly that you're all done doing business as other teams might be calling you. But again, they don't want to admit their own situation. And I think if they were being honest with themselves, they would see themselves through the lens of not good enough, not on the verge of a playoff appearance. But Farhan is desperate to keep his job. And how do you walk back into your boss's office and say, yeah, man, keep me here when I've made the playoffs once in 7 years if he fails to make it this year? That's why he won't push his chips into the sell market. And apparently he doesn't have permission to really go and add anyone or anything from an ownership group that if I were Giants owners, I wouldn't want Farhan presiding over much more of this. He might be really smart. He might have some wonderful behind closed doors attributes that I really don't know about. I don't care. The baseball needs to get better, needs to get more entertaining, needs to get more talented, needs to develop more, needs to sign more, needs to behave like a major market franchise, not like the Milwaukee Brewers, who I believe have a better record. Maybe they, I don't know. I don't care. And that's really, kind of where we stand with the Giants. The amount of not really caring, it's getting a bit much. Remember, the opposite of hate is not love. It's apathy. So, good luck. Good luck to all involved. Good luck the rest of the way. All right. Hey, you won't need any luck. You will be very lucky to have lunch today at Ike's. Get to Ike's, the best sandwich money can buy, and you might get a free sandwich if you sign up on Ike's app, okay? You earn your way towards free sandwiches by ordering either to pick up in any of his now over 100 locations or have it delivered to you if you're in a delivery area. And the sandwich is just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And the sandwich is like a million different things. It's whatever you need it to be, whatever you want it to be, whatever flavor you're in the mood for. Believe me, my man Ike has it for you. I suggest you start with the Damon Bruce. I am delicious. I am ribeye steak. I am provolone. I am a little steak sauce and onion rings. I don't like French or Dutch crunch. I'm a French bread guy. I don't like the Dutch crunch. It's like Lucky Charms or Captain Crunch. It cuts the roof of my mouth. So I don't like it. I think it soaks up too much of the sauce and all the good stuff that Ike puts on there. It's too spongy. I like a bread that pushes the sauce back onto the sandwich, not sucks it up for itself. Get yourself to Ike's. Have a great lunch today. You'll be happy that you did. Then get yourself to the Dubliner and West Portal. We just had Plusmania 4 there on Sunday. It was awesome. Again, Kenny and John, thank you so very much for the wonderful hospitality. It was fantastic. All involved had a great time. Everybody who goes to the Dubliner has a great time. It's an awesome bar. They ain't making bars like that. No mo. Great bar. So thanks to Ike's. Thanks to the Dubliner. Hit like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. Those likes help the channel gets shared in the algorithm. And since I'm talking Giants baseball to open up the show, I could probably use as many likes as you can give me right now to help this doomed on arrival show, because it's about baseball. And that is the world that we live in. NFL training camp is underway. Larry and I went late last night with a wake up after dark. I hope you tuned in. I hope you enjoyed. If you need some 49ers content, that video is just waiting for you right on my channel. So go get some. And if you are at the Giants game this evening, keep a lookout for Larry Krueger. He apparently is going to be there with a bachelor party. He's got a buddy getting married on a Wednesday. Okay. Hey, dude, it's a smart move. I guarantee you his wedding will be half the price of a weekend wedding or a Friday or Saturday wedding. So good on the guy getting married. Smart choice. Start saving money right away. Don't spend a whole bunch of cash serving your friends bland chicken. It's smart to have a small off-day wedding, in my opinion. It really is. So Larry's going to it's the first of the last two games the Oakland A's are ever going to play in San Francisco. What an occasion. Speaking of Oakland, I saw this written by Alex Baker on Cron.com. I don't think I've ever used Cron.com as a reference for any story I've ever shared with you, but here we are. The City of Oakland has apparently reached a deal to sell its share of the Oakland Coliseum complex. The potential landmark deal will see the city unload its 50% share of the facility's ownership to the African American Sports and Entertainment Group, known as AASEG. AASEG formally signed a term sheet with the City of Oakland on Monday. The group announced on social media the move marks the first significant step in a $105 million purchase and sale agreement of Oakland's share of the venues. Now, what do they plan on doing with it? The Warriors don't play there. The baseball team is leaving. The football team is gone. You got two stadiums that are basically sitting empty. What are you going to do? Well, the quote from the African American Sports and Entertainment Group is, "This momentous occasion brings us one step closer to fulfilling our promise as commitment to revitalize the Coliseum complex. We envision the stadium stands as a beacon of opportunity, bringing much-needed jobs, economic benefits, and most importantly, hope to our residents." Good luck. I mean, I'm going to be rooting for you. I really will be, but I don't know what goes in there to make those buildings profitable and up and running. I don't. What would have made that, I think, a valuable piece of property is if you had a Major League Baseball team that had decided years ago, yeah, we're just going to build another stadium here in this massive freaking parking lot. Got to be one of the biggest open spaces in the state of California, in any major city, with a BART stop attached to it. But we have so thoroughly fucked this up that now this entire site is basically, it's like we salted the earth. That's what John Fisher does. He salts the earth behind him. The crops never grow again. So, look, I wish the new owners and their $105 million investment the very, very best. I think they're going to need an awful lot of luck to make that happen. We will hop into the chats. We will hop into Club Plus in just a little bit. We never waste your time here. If you're listening on the podcast and you're like, how come we don't get Club Plus? Because you're not watching on YouTube. You want into Club Plus, you can only get there. The line starts on YouTube and YouTube only. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I want you to click on the YouTube channel too. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. We talked about the Olympics opening ceremony, didn't we? I'm not sure how many were actually offended, but we live in a world where people want to let everybody know that they've been deeply offended by something every hour of the day. It's outrage du jour. I will never watch, especially from the evangelicals, right? They made fun of the Last Supper. No, they didn't. That was a bacchanal, but okay. It reminded me of making fun of something that I hold near and dear to my heart. Okay, that's, I can't control what offends you. If you were raised in a weak-minded household, I'm sure there's a lot of things that will offend you. I'm trying to raise two little boys that aren't easily offended. That's what I'm trying to do over here. Too bad you weren't raised that way if you walk around just easily offended by everything. I'm so sorry your parents didn't do a better job with you. Mostly evangelicals up and down Facebook and Twitter and whatever you post your inner thoughts onto the internet. I will never watch. I am boycotting the rest of the Olympics. I am out, and shame on Paris for sabotaging these athletes who will be now universally unwatched because I have misinterpreted something that happened in an opening ceremony as I continue to lobby for the Department of Education to be shut down. That's who these people are. And let me tell you what they also are. Their boycott is on, and it has failed miserably. Absolutely failed miserably. The very next day, after half the world said, we're never watching the Olympics, opening Saturday got 32.4 million tuned in to catch the actions. Ratings are up nearly 80% over Tokyo. The entire continent is basically watching the Olympics. There you go. It's like when Colin Kaepernick took a knee and everyone said, I will never watch the NFL again. What time's that game on? I will never, ever watch the Olympics again. Kevin Durant started 8 for 8. What? Well, I'm going to tune in. You sanctimonious blowhards. Really, something else. Nice protest, evangelicals. Like most of the rest of your life, you're total hypocrites. Because that number wouldn't be that big if their protests actually happened. And there it is. There's your sip of the day. Austin Karp, Sports Business Journal, says that NBC got $10.9 million for the opening round of the Team USA win over Serbia. That happened this past weekend. That is a bigger audience than Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. That is a bigger audience than the final round of the Masters. That is a bigger audience than Game 4 of the NBA Finals. That is a larger audience than the Golden Globes. Again, tell me more how much you're not going to watch the Olympics while ratings are up 80%. That's fantastic. Tell me more. Seriously. Great protest. Meanwhile, I love the Olympics. I love the Olympics. I watch. I'm on my couch last night. Men's gymnastics, which is freaking amazing. Like what gymnasts do is amazing. I am not built to do any of that. So it's pretty amazing to watch it all happen. Men's gymnastics medals for the first time in 16 years. They get a bronze. Japan took gold. China won silver. But Fred Richard, not Richards, singular, Fred Richard. Write that name down because that guy is going to be a household name by the time the Summer Games reach LA in 2028. What a personality on a guy who's awesome at the job. The guy is the most compelling male gymnast Team USA has. He swings with more power and grace and does his, I guess he called it gymnastics. I was going to say stunts. He does his stunts. He pommel horses with the best of them. He is up there on the parallel bars, the rings, all the stuff. It's just, the guy's unbelievable. And he's got more personality than most. He's got a huge social media presence. He's handsome. He's marketable. He's got a great smile. He's a Michigan guy. That dude's going to be a superstar. Like, bet on that guy to be a lot more famous 4 years from now than he is today. And he's pretty darn famous right now and today. His dad his dad and mom had the cutaways while he's out there competing. His dad is every single dad watching their kid in a high profile event. Like, his dad is living and dying. Mom's a little calmer sitting there next to him. The dad is living and dying and having a heart attack and coming back to life with each and every move that his son is making. It was great. I mean, that's what's really great about the Olympics. The parents, the reaction. Who would have ever thought that the breakout beloved celebrity at the 2024 Olympic Games was going to be Snoop Dogg? But he is. Snoop Dogg has been everywhere in Paris, and everybody seems to love him, and he seems to love everybody. And he comes on back and he sits down with Mike Tirico to kind of recap his day. It's always full with like delightful little stories. You know, I'm like, what is Snoop Dogg doing here? And then you realize, oh, he's kind of stealing the show. He's like the official Olympic Team USA mascot almost. He's been phenomenal. Here's another thing nobody had on their bingo card. Women's water polo is sponsored by Flava Flav. What? Dude, really? No, it's true. It's true. I don't know how that happened, but it's happening, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. So, again, two rappers from my childhood. Well, I mean, Flava Flav was always more of a hype man than a rapper. Snoop, there's your rapper. Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought that they would be as indelible to the Olympic image as Mary Lou Retton? But they are this year. They are this year. So congratulations, men's gymnastics. It was good, really good. I love the stuff in the pool. I tell you, just like football, any aquatic competition that is swimming is better on TV than it is in person. In person, if you've ever been to a swim meet, it's just a whole bunch of splashing. And if you don't have the lane assignments coming up with flags and graphics, you lose track of who anybody is if you're there live at the event. It's a lot better on TV than it is in person. There's always drama coming out of the pool. I'm about it. I love it. There's going to be more tonight, right? We got more medals being handed out in the pool tonight. We got Simone Biles and Team USA, women's gymnastic. I think they're out there right now, like live. They're doing it right now. But tonight, if you're tuning into the Paris and prime time thing that Tirico, hosts from 7 o'clock to midnight or whatever it runs, they're going to be all over that. Simone Biles is freaking amazing. She's out there limping around and still sticking landings. A lot of medals get decided in the pool tonight for the boys and the girls. Surfing wraps up tonight with its more medal rounds in surfing. We got that iconic surfing photo where the guy's like flying off of his board and he's in midair putting up number one and the board is like standing up parallel with him. It was incredible. What a photo. Men's basketball. Team USA returns for its second game on Wednesday at noon West Coast time against South Sudan, which Luol Deng, you remember Luol Deng from the NBA? Apparently, he is funding South Sudan's Olympic basketball effort with his own cash. It shouldn't even be called Team South Sudan. It should be called Team Luol Deng. The guy's done an incredible job putting this team together, and Steve Kerr is already talking about facing this team with the appropriate level of fear. South Sudan came within an eyelash of knocking Team USA out of an undefeated conversation in their Olympic tune-ups. They were a point away. They were a bunny layup at the end of the game away from beating Team USA in the warm-ups. So I'm sure Team USA will have an awful lot more for them on Wednesday. But there you go. There's something to keep an eye on. No true gimme. That brings me to the women, who steamrolled Japan in their opening game. But that's not what I want to talk about because, dude, USA women's basketball completely blew it by not having Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese on this team. First of all, neither woman is needed to win. The women are so preordained to win gold in basketball that you probably could have sent a whole bunch of like college players and come back with gold. There is no other country that's taking women's basketball as seriously as we do. And there is certainly no one in Europe consuming it like this season has been consumed in NBA record fashion, thanks to the presence of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, their rivalry, the attention that those two women have garnered, mostly Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, Kevin Durant is a bucket. Caitlin Clark is a sellout. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, she sells out arenas. Team USA versus Japan over in Paris was the lowest attended basketball game so far in the Olympics. Had Caitlin Clark been there, that building is sold out. You're blowing your opportunity to grow the game globally, internationally. Both on that roster, both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, that game is sold out. You add rookies that have captured the globe's imagination while you are going through the most extreme level of growth the sport has ever seen. I mean, this is simple. It's really simple. Like, stow all the basketball, it's got to fit together bullshit. The women's USA basketball team could not practice, have a big breakfast, and go out and win gold. That's how much better they are than everybody. So you don't need to worry about winning gold. You need to worry about growing the game. And boy, did they blow growing the game. That's a responsibility that those who are the gatekeepers and the people who built this women's basketball roster totally fumbled away. Totally fumbled away. For the first time ever, because of Caitlin Clark, WNBA games are selling out. Women's Team USA shows up in Paris and the entire second deck is empty. I mean, seriously. Like, what an embarrassment. Barrett Media, my old boss, Jason Barrett, who now runs a media company where he covers the media. He had something that was amazing. I mean, tell me that, women's basketball couldn't have used a little slice of this. Approximately 4.5 billion minutes of Olympic coverage has been streamed in just the opening weekend alone. 4.5 billion minutes streamed in the opening weekend. That is more than the entirety of the Tokyo Summer Games. You telling me that women's basketball with Caitlin Clark, with Angel Reese, isn't growing that that number's at 5 billion. I bet you they alone would have added 500 million. You blew it. You blew it. Again, I can't be out here making sure that you get it all right, Team USA deciders, but you definitely got this one wrong. What I definitely am right about is the fact that radio is dying. Radio is it's not my opinion. It's a mathematical, provable fact. Everyone in radio has been asked to take a pay cut like across the board. There is a reason why your daily lineup is now polluted with, we're just a board op 8 months ago or a producer 8 months ago. And there's nothing wrong with that if they're good, but if they're good, clearly isn't even a question being asked. It's, are they cheap? Will they come in and work? And the answer is yeah, except for down in San Diego, because here is more proof that the sports radio business model is dead, dying, and ain't coming back. The mightier 1090 down in San Diego, a big station, has shut its doors completely. Just done. The radio's in one day It's gone the next, and the next thing on that dial is going to be Spanish Catholic programming. Spanish Catholic programming has replaced sports talk radio in San Diego. It's because anyone in charge of buying advertising, to do so on radio, you have just announced to your company that you should be fired immediately. If you're not using the internet to digitally target your audience to advertise directly to someone who will be interested in what you are advertising, and you're just going blanket advertising, you're a moron. And that is what's going to kill radio as much as these terrible, soulless, awful companies that own them. You know, the problem for sports talk radio isn't that they're just trying to get by on the cheap everywhere. It's that the money they need to ever be good again is gone and it ain't coming back. Like and subscribe, folks. Like and subscribe here to YouTube. It's the future. Let's see. Speaking of the future, we got some days away. Big news in the Bruce household. We are 4 days away from Jack's 5th birthday. As far as he's concerned, he's a man now. We are 11 days away from the first preseason game for the 49ers against the Tennessee Titans. We are 23 days away from Ozzy's 3rd birthday. So, ladies, look out. He's coming for you. 41 days away from Week 1 Monday Night Football, New York Jets, and we're already getting Jets practice footage of Aaron Rodgers airing out teammates and yelling at guys. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a Week 1 49er win, I would imagine. I think there's going to be a lot of 49er wins coming. And we will talk more 49ers as the week goes along. As Wake Up returns Friday morning with yours truly and Larry Krueger. We will have an awful lot for you this coming football season. So again, like and subscribe. And if you really want to catch everything, make sure you hit notify. And that way you'll know that we're going live at the 2-minute warning again this year. During games, we are going to have the America's most aggressive YouTube NFL postgame show. We don't even wait for the game to end. And I really look forward to you hopefully joining us and delivering massive growth to this channel right here, which is all pointed in awesome directions. I thank you all so very, very much. By the way, speaking of delivering, on this date in 1972, Deliverance hit theaters. What a movie that is. Deliverance. Burt Reynolds, John Voight, Ned Beatty. That movie gave us dueling banjos and hillbilly sodomy. Believe it or not, that was Ned Beatty's on-screen debut. His big screen debut. First movie that Ned Beatty is ever in. He is getting bent over a log in the woods. His mouth sure is purty. Oh my God, it's so creepy. It's so creepy. That movie rocked a generation of American men who, let's be honest, if you're not gay, you fear sodomy like big time. And there is a rough scene that Deliverance is known for. Whoa, man, it's a doozy. And then the very end of the movie, spoiler, the very end of the movie is one of the creepiest final shots ever at the end of a movie. You got that hand coming up out of the water. Oh my God. Great movie. Scary movie. Disturbing movie. Deliverance. If you've never seen it, make yourself uncomfortable and check out Deliverance. And there you go. That's the last bit of advice I got for you today. Like, the whole movie is basically cousin fucking in Kentucky. Or I think they're in Georgia, though, in the actual movie. Thank you so very much for tuning in. If you're listening to the podcast, thank you very, very much. We're about to have a little Club Plus here on YouTube. But for those of you just listening, you're awesome. Thank you very much. And please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone. All right, what do we got? What's going on here? We're going to go to the chat. We're going to start all the way up at the top and see where we are. Joe Schmo talking about Ike's. Damon, I am ordering in the app right now. Joe, loving Ike's. Thank you very, very much. Dub the Dubliner. Absolutely. It's a big dub. QJ. You know what, QJ? We're going to deal with that guy on my time. And he will be dealt with. Sporticus. Damon, your bread philosophy translates into what I look for from a professional sports owner. Yeah, you don't suck up the resources for just yourself. You let them back into the sandwich. Thank you very, very much. Wake Up After Dark. Loved every second of it. Thank you very much, Chef A. We love you. You know that. I had to have Jillian hide the damn brittle because I ate 2 bags of it yesterday. That is crack to me. JJ Raider. Again, different strokes for different folks. Dutch Crunch is my favorite. To each their own, baby. To each their own. Let's see. What else we got going on here? Gareth is saying Sarah Monty needs Ike. Isn't there an Ike's in the Sarah Monty Mall? I think there is. There's not one in the Tanforan, but who's opening up? Again, invest in a mall right now. I dare you. I guess if you're a sandwich shop, you can have success anywhere. If people like your sandwiches, they'll go to it. But nobody goes to the mall to actually shop for anything anymore, do they? What else we got going on here in the chat? A lot of Farhan Anxiety. A lot of FJF. Yeah, John Fisher. Great guy. Chef A, again, rugby. How fucking cool is rugby? It's, I don't watch much of it, but when I do watch it, I'm like, all right, yeah. I still love that Big Mama just trucking some chick on the way to the end zone or whatever you call it in rugby. Talking about generation, I'm going to boycott, I'm never going to watch, and then they do anyways. G-Man Music is so right here. Kids from the 90s who had timeouts instead of spankings are now the adults that are total candy asses. They were all told they were special, and most of them are lied to. Again, if everybody is special, technically nobody is special. Leslie. I love the Olympics opening ceremony. I thought it was artistic, innovative, showed all the beautiful architecture and culture, including the fun stereotypes of French culture. Again, I agree. I thought that the close the door on the threesome thing was a little bit much, but again, I don't care. I'm not looking for the Olympics to define my or my family's individual libidos. I don't think anybody who was going to live a straight life watched the Olympics and was like, nah, never mind. This opening ceremony got me. I'm gay now. That's not how it's not how sexuality works. Let me ask you a quick question. Anytime you catch somebody being homophobic, just lean over and ask them this question. When did you decide to be straight? You know what they'll probably do? They're going to say something out loud that sounds an awful like this. Well, I never decided. I just what? And maybe that is an illuminating moment for them. Again, I didn't decide to like titties. I just did. I'm guessing it's the same way for the Brujol. Padraig O'Byrne, who joins us from Ireland. Good to have you, laddie. I saw badminton. Did you watch it, lads? I didn't see any badminton, but I saw some table tennis, and I actually saw Anthony Edwards going nuts at a table tennis game. That was good. That was good. Erwin, thank you. Damon, so far so good with Jack. He was willing to engage socially with strangers. Yeah, that was Jack walked into the Dubliner, again, 5-year-old in a bar full of half in the bag adults. And, that's a pretty intimidating room for a 5-year-old to walk into when everyone's trying to say hi to you and whatnot. And he handled it great. I was really proud of him. Really, really proud of him. Ozzy was like, it's nice to meet everybody. Can we leave now? Otis. Yeah, for real, man. For real. So much for boycotts. So much for it. True Blue, who was there, says, oh no, I accidentally kicked my cat last night when watching the USA Pommel Horse. How great was Richard on Pommel Horse? And the dude with the glasses? The goofy guy? Fantastic. E. Scott Burns, Fred Richards' dad fired up. Well, no, if you're saying he's a plural, Fred Richards' dad, yes, then it is a Richards. But his name is Fred Richard. Fred Richards' dad was fired up last night, and the Penn State Pommel Horse guy was a badass. Yes, you're correct. It was awesome. It was awesome. I mean, I literally, there's nothing that happens in that arena that I could ever do. I'm not saying I could go out and play Olympic basketball, but I could shoot a free throw. I can hit a corner three. Yeah, not while anybody's guarding me, but I could do that. There is no singular element of gymnastic anything that I could do, except for the whole, like, chalking up the hands. The chalking up the hand. By the way, I don't know why I love that so much. I love when we get a slow motion bunker shot from the Masters and in super slow mo and in high def, you just got that sand spraying everywhere. I told this to Jillian last night. I love when any gymnast, man or woman, finishes a routine, they clap their hands and they got the puff of chalk smoke. I don't know why I like that so much. I just do. To me, it's the ultimate background stuff. It's the ultimate background stuff. And konnichiwa, Erwin, from our friend Joji. Again, we have someone watching us from Ireland. We have someone watching us from Japan. My audience is officially one of the coolest audiences in the world. Thank you so very much. Fred Richard, Damon, 2 first names. You're right, True Blue. Got to look out for those guys with 2 first names, said Damon Bruce. Yeah, Fred should be the new face of the Wheaties box. Dude, that kid has got so much personality. And it's not like forced personality. He's not trying. He just has personality. Again, personality. It's one of those things. You can't teach somebody personality. You either got it or you don't. Well, that kid's got it, man. Mario, sounds like Mitch Gaylord. Are we going to get what's the movie with Mitch Gaylord and Gretzky's wife? What was the name of that movie? They were gymnasts. More from Leslie, we got to meet at Plus Mania 4. I agree. The gymnasts just blow my mind. And Frederick of the men's team is awesome. He was great. Snoop used the Olympic light the Olympic torch to light his joint. I hope he did. I hope he did. Rockin' New Era. Flava Flav? Yeah. Flava Flav is basically helping the women's U.S. water polo team more than what Team USA is or something. I don't know. It's strange bedfellows, to say the least. I mean, the next thing I'm ready for is track and field. And that'll start in about, a week from now? You got to get all the gymnasts wrap up tonight, I think, right? If the women are done, they've already handed out the men's gold for the team, and then you're going to have individual apparatus getting medals. But yeah, we're going to get to track and field. And that's where Olympic ratings really go through the roof. So, congratulations. Congratulations to your boycott. It ain't working. Sky Collins asked, are there any more confused boners than you get from watching women's water polo? This sounds more like a confession than it does a question. So thank you, Sky. I want to wish you and your confused boners the very best of luck to the rest of this Olympiad. Sporticus, Jason Kelsey publicly announcing he's a women's rugby Superman might be the best pairing in Olympic history. Okay. I did not see Jason Kelsey around women's rugby yet. I haven't seen really any element of women's rugby except for Big Mama trucking the field there. Oh, everyone, spoiler, here you go. USA women just won gold. Gymnastics just won gold. Congratulations. Congratulations, ladies. Simone Biles, man. No joke. Simone Biles, really hurt herself in practice. And she's out there still getting it done, man. Oh, he's a super fan. Of course, Jason Kelsey is going to be the scrum of any sport that has people basically hitting each other in the head on a line of scrimmage. That's very on brand. On brand. UC Steve letting the whole world know that Jimmer Fredette plays 3-on-3 at 1:30 versus Serbia. Who would have seen Jimmer get more Olympic minutes than Tatum? Yeah. Well, Tatum will play Wednesday, guaranteed. Kerr will do it just to stop the questions. Okay. What else we got going on here? Mark is right. If Clark and Reese were walking around Paris, they would have droves of people surrounding them. I'm going to tell you, the women's U.S. Olympic team has sort of faded into the background, the same place that the WNBA has existed before Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Ladies, you might want to take notes on that. Without them, you have this audience. With them, you get this audience. You're trying to do the best to grow the game globally? And you decided we're going to go with this instead of this? It's on you. That is on you. Japanese fans, UC Steve says, we're holding up Caitlin Clark signs. Mario wants to know, how many hours is 4 billion minutes? 4 billion minutes to hours. What's the answer, Google? 4 billion minutes is 66 million 66,666,000, a lot of sixes, like a satanic amount of sixes. But yeah, 4 billion minutes is about 66 million hours. That's a lot. By the way, remember this. This is a little something for you to use, Mario, wherever you go. This is going to blow you away. The difference between a million and a billion is this big. If I asked you to start counting to 1 million, if I asked you to start counting to 1 million, taking no time to sleep, just start counting to 1 million. You can stop counting when you reach a million, not before. You would be counting for 11 days straight. It would take you 11 days to count to a million. It would take you, I think 33 years is the number to count to a billion. That's the difference. That's the difference. There's a big difference between a million and a billion. All right. What else we got going on here? True Blue Forever's like, man, that station in San Diego. Whoa, 1090, says Otis, who's a San Diego or a radio historian. Wasn't that their version of KNBR? Kinda. I don't think it was ever as big as KNBR. Like, it shut down during the pandemic. They brought it up again. It was the mighty 1090. Then it went dark during COVID. And then it relaunched as the mightier 1090. And again, they got their power shut off. They're not going to be a sports channel anymore. They're a Spanish Catholic radio station now. Erwin, bang, bang, Plusser gang. Thank you very, very much. What else we got here in the chat? San Bruno Mike, dude, Deliverance. A deep movie. Yeah, deep in Ned Beatty's ass anyways. Woof, that's a rough one. Chef A, watch your tushies, boys. By the way, dueling banjos is awesome. You got a purty mouth. Woof. That's the San Bruno Mike. Deliverance makes the Pulp Fiction scene look like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Yeah. Oh, you're right. No, Squeaky Disco. How did I forget to turn on the disco ball today? How can we have Club Blues without the damn disco ball? Thank you for noticing. True Blue Forever. I don't know if it would have been a Club Blues without the disco ball. What the hell are we doing around here? Squeaky disco ball activated. And indeed, yeah, there is an Ike's in Ceremony Mall. I thought so. Smiley Dan says, look, man, I just keep it real. I go because the door to Ike's in the Ceremony Mall is on street level, Stonestown. I got to walk too deep into the mall. Yeah, who wants to go to a food court if you don't have to? Danny Golding TV says, Damon, I remember listening to 1090 when visiting San Diego and streaming it when the Chargers moved to LA to hear their hosts and callers' reaction to it. It's sad that sports talk radio is dying. Yeah. Yeah, and how it's supposed to be brought back. Again, remember, it sounds like it's a broadcasting business. It really isn't. It's an advertising business. And when your advertising dries up and goes away, that's how newspapers died. Newspapers didn't die because we decided not to read them. Newspapers died because their ability to run classified ads dried up with the internet's invention and Craigslist. So, Rob T wants to know, what's the betting line on the transgender boxing match? I don't think there is one, but if there is, take the fighter who was born the dude. I don't even think that that's a controversial thing to say. SF Indigo, again, hey, the Bacchanal was Roman. The Olympics opening ceremony was Dionysian. There's a lot of similarities there, right? I mean, there's an awful lot of similarities there. Bacchus, Bacchanal, I hear you. Let's get it right. I want to get it right. I love the nerdy athlete on the pommel horse. That dude is a straight up cowboy. Damon, Gymkata was the movie with Mitch Gaylord. There was a movie with, a gymnastics karate movie. I don't know if that's the one I'm thinking about though. Was Janet hold on, I got to look this up. Janet Gretzky movie gymnastics. American Anthem. It's called American Anthem. There you go. That's it. Janet Gretzky looked good. Janet Gretzky looked good. A lot of taste there, Wayne. Good job. UC Steve, Spanish Catholic Radio. They're getting lots of calls about Paris's opening ceremony. Yeah. Thank you very much, Smiley Dan. Great show today. We can all rally around hating Farhan, can't we? Look, people who wanted him to buy are mad. People who wanted him to sell are mad. And that is an awful lot of coverage there, Farhan. No doubt about it. We're going to wrap up with this. Chardonnay Dog has been a member and a part of the initiated for 7 months. Cheers and thank you so much. Memberships indeed available. You are an awesome audience. Thank you for hanging out here today. It means the world that you do, that you did. And that's why really deep down inside, it absolutely breaks my heart to let you know that sports don't build character. They reveal, oh no, we already let you know that. What I say here is that you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here.